Monday to Tuesday, you don't have any fun. From Wednesday to Thursday, just gonna out for a run. Friday and Saturday, you're always getting drunk. And Sunday, you stay at home and never go to church.
You're so scared. It's your work is used against you. Stay, remain in your place. Find the evidence. Hide the violence. This is your punishment. This is your punishment. This is your punishment. This is your punishment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fun-filled episode of MyNightOut Radio, only on Rhode Hey, by the way, in studio tonight we have my occasional co-host, helper, friend, if you want to call him that. It's a little dangerous to throw words like that.
I am a man of many titles.
But we have George Gorner in the house. Also, we have Tony Jones with us.
Yes, sir.
He is making us sound as wonderful as we sound, and he is holding down, it looks like a Gansett from here.
I'm going to be enjoying a Allie's Donuts double chocolate porter as this program proceeds. So if the program sounds not as good as it did at the beginning of the program, it's because I'm drinking behind the board. Now, in the world of alternative media, I can do that. When I was in over-the-air media, that was a big FCC no-no. You could not drink on the air.
Well, in honor of being alternative media, listening closely, everybody, that is a golden monkey from the...
Hold on. Oh, that was loud.
That was the golden monkey from Victory Brewing. While I'm having my beverage, however, I will tell you about a little bit of food that we had this week. First off, I'm a breakfast person. I always love breakfast. And a place that I cannot say enough about, Gell's Kitchen. It's literally, I can throw a rock from the studio and hit it. Excellent breakfast. The omelets there, they say it's a 3-egg omelet. It's got to be a really large chicken, or they're trying to sneak an extra egg in on us. Home fries are excellent. Also, a little bit of food news. Wright's Chicken Farm is back open. They had that little a norovirus scare, so they voluntarily shut down for about a couple of days.
Yeah, what was that about? Because I've been there before, and I couldn't seem to get a straight answer on the news. Like, what exactly happened?
Simply put, norovirus is like any other virus. It spreads through human contact.
Right.
Unfortunately for people at Wright's Chicken Farm, someone went in who had the norovirus on them, in them, around them, exuding all sorts of noxious virus chemicals. And it just so happened that a couple people caught it. Some of the staff caught it. It's nothing that they did per se.
Okay, that was my big question, right? So this isn't a restaurant-connected thing. It just so happens that it happened at a restaurant.
I mean, if you go on a cruise ship, cruise ships, you are constantly being bombarded with Purell or whatever hand sanitizer you can find, because norovirus runs rampant really quick. It is one of the easiest viruses to catch, wreaks havoc on your entrails, lower GI system.
Oh, right.
You will... I think the term I'm looking for is brown mist. It will be horrible. It is not pleasant. I, fortunately, knock on wood, have not had to go through it yet.
So basically just helps rid you of the Wright's Farm bill of fare.
It exudes itself quite quickly on its own. But, no, you would have to buckle up when you sat on the porcelain throne, because you would eject.
Okay, but that's what happened. The customer brought it to the restaurant, and it just spread like any other illness, and that was that.
They don't know if it was a customer or one of the employees.
Or a chicken looking for revenge. You know how much chicken they sell in that place?
Honestly, with chicken, I'd be more worried about the salmonella or botulism or stuff like that.
That's true. A terrorist chicken would be out. Yeah, he'd be more violent than that, yeah.
Exactly. So, with that being said, Wright's Chicken Farm is open, and I do have to say it is one of my favorite places to go.
And if you're looking for that Sunday, you want to unwind that Sunday or Saturday drive, kind of the drive out there is part of the experience, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Going right down Route 102,
yep.
You get there. It literally, if you miss it, you're blind, or you were just looking the wrong way for a very long period of time.
Right, and you'll see the sign that says Ronnie's.
Yes.
Right, so if you've missed it when you see the sign that says Ronnie's.
Well, depending on which way you're going.
Okay, yeah, but I'm going with the...
From here, going north on 102.
Right.
Yeah. So, those are two places. In fact, I have another person who is sitting at Wright's right now, guy I went to high school with. I maintained contact with him for a lot of years. He's checking it out as we speak, so he will get back to me, and I will be able to get back to everyone whether or not quality has suffered because of their norovirus scare.
Right. The only thing I don't want to have suffer is the shells. Why? And that's one of the reasons I like going to Wright's Farm is, why is it that Wright's Farm is the only restaurant I know of that serves shells as the pasta?
Because they're not Italian.
Yeah, I mean, because shells are not Italian? Or?
No. Italians will serve macaroni like a ziti, a penne.
Everything but.
Yeah. Shells, it's an Americanized version. It was, I believe it, and don't quote me on this, but I believe it was some way to get kids to eat mac and cheese.
Well, that's not it's the way to get me to eat macaroni.
Now, the funny thing is that we know it's all pasta, right? I mean, it's
Right.
all the same.
Right.
However, I have a hierarchy of pasta that I like. So angel hair is first, then ziti, then bow ties. Now, I absolutely hate elbows because when I first moved out of my parents' house, 18, 19 years old, I would get the big bag, 2 pounds of elbows for $1.10, and I would eat these elbows for weeks. And, you know, I know it's pasta. I know it's the same.
Yeah, I know.
It's all the toppings. I hate elbow macaroni.
Yeah, but plus it's called elbows. I mean, like, who the hell wants to eat elbows?
Well, the other thing you have to look at is what you're putting on the pasta. Each shape, each style of pasta holds sauces differently. So you're not going to put a heavy sauce on an angel hair. You're going to put a light sauce.
Right.
If ziti and penne, it's the exact same shape. Only difference is the lines. The lines hold sauce better. So you're going to use a marinara or a lighter sauce with the lines,
Right.
so it holds to the pasta better. If you have a meat-based sauce, the penne are going to it holds up better to the meat sauce.
Right now, shells hold two things. Shells hold whatever sauce you're using better than other pastas.
Exactly.
And shells also hold other shells.
Exactly.
See, there's nothing better when you're eating pasta than to have like 3 shells kind of spooned together.
Exactly.
So to speak.
Yep.
Yeah, so no,
The middle one you could probably chip a tooth on when you get to it too.
No, the best shells are when they bond after they're cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I know what you mean. I've bitten into shells, right, that were like kind of those Russian vases, like 10 deep, and yeah, that's not pleasant.
Sadly enough, they're called Mastroisha dolls.
Thank you, but
I am a fountain of useless trivia.
you are. Vladimir Putin is proud of you right now. But the shells mostly bond after they're almost cooked.
Yeah.
In the cooking process. So usually what you get, if your luck is in, is 3 shells bonded together, full of whatever sauce you're using.
Yep.
And by the way, and nobody can tell me that shells are not Italian, because I had an Italian grandmother, and she had a collection of seashells from Sicily, the beaches of Palermo.
I'm not saying shells themselves. I'm talking about the pasta shape.
So if shells are Italian, and justifiably Italian, then a pasta reproduced in the image of something as Italian as seashells should be allowable also.
Well, that will bring you to either the tortellini. Yeah, the tortellini is shaped like a belly button. They actually made a pasta to look like a belly button. It was actually supposed to be Venus's belly button, but that's another whole.
Well, that's because Venus's belly button probably never had any lint in it. She was a goddess and so on. She was probably above such things.
Well,
But I don't know, the idea of eating a belly button kind of appeals to me about the same as eating somebody's elbow.
Well, when you soak anything in enough garlic and basil, it's going to taste wonderful. Hence, why you always put tortellini with a pesto sauce.
Well, yeah, that's why I always put something in the belly button of my ex-girlfriend too. But
Straw and alcohol is usually in one of those.
Well, no, she had like a food fetish.
Okay.
So.
All right, whipped cream and a straw.
All right, but my point is that I just, regardless of the reason or the subculture or the subtext, I just want more shells in more restaurants.
It would be a welcome exchange, mostly because I have wasted more T-shirts, dress shirts on penne, regular spaghetti, angel hair. If you don't twirl it just the right way on the longer noodles, or if the penne or whatever falls off your fork. When you're using shells, you can eat them with a spoon.
You can.
And that's something I go for. The pastine is awesome for that too.
Right, although a connoisseur of shells does eat them with a fork.
Yes. But we'll digress on the pasta chat because we have a lot more very important food and beverage news coming up in just a little bit. But we're going to leave here with a band that I heard at Warped Tour last year. The name of the band is Our Last Night. I've never felt this way. You're listening to My Night Out Radio. We'll be back in a minute.
clouds can't break me now. I jumped off this plane 'cause it was going down. My parachute, I've got nothing left to lose. The wind blows through my hair and leaves you broken and bruised.
Come and get me.
Bright lights, cat fights. I am a rock star. VIP, your daddy's worst enemy. Yes, I'm a rock and roll star. When I hear that sound of the crowd, don't what you are, but what am I? If you rock, well, let's roll. You know it's showtime. We're all rock stars. Bright lights, cat fights. I am a rock hero star. VIP, your daddy's worst enemy. Yes, I'm a rock hero star. There's nothing I would rather be. A rock hero star. Deliver the line. What's the time? Showtime. Bright lights, cat fights. Woo! VIP. What's my name? Yes, we're a rockin', oh, we're a rockin' stars.
Welcome back, my night outers. That was Korozik. Name of the song was Rockstar. Before that, we heard Our Last Night. Name of the song was I've Never Felt This Way.
Ooh.
Speaking of never felt this way before, I am excited as a schoolgirl right now with some news that I just got. Tony broke the news on his show about an hour ago, but I'm going to
Break it again.
break it again. I've been breaking all day. However, Narragansett Beer is finally coming back to Rhode Island. They closed up shop 1983. They moved from Cranston, Rhode Island. They moved to parts elsewhere. Right now, currently, they're producing in Rochester, New York. However, they are moving their world headquarters from 60 Ship Street to the Guild in Pawtucket. I don't know the exact address because, well, I didn't research. I was just skipping around the living room when I read that this morning.
But they're back in Rhode Island.
They are
That's
coming
the
back.
important thing.
Now, two questions always pop in my head. How do I get a job there? Because, if you don't have a job, you might as well be drunk. But if you're drunk at your job and it's okay, that's bonus.
Right, and you don't want to get a job at a microbrew because they'll notice the missing
Exactly.
product.
A couple cases go missing a week. They're going to frown upon that. However, if you're making millions of cases a year,
Right, they'll just allow what you drink to spillage.
exactly. So, it's spills on the floor, spills down my neck. Either way, I want to work at Narragansett Brewery when it comes back to Rhode Island. And number two, how long is it going to take for our dear governor to claim this as a win on her own? Because she said she was going to bring them back. And it's been how long since she's claimed that? Is she going to claim this again?
As soon as she manages to put a toll on the beer trucks.
Well, the beer trucks are already going to have a toll on them.
There's going to be an extra one.
Extra
Because
beer toll.
Because Narragansett has the potential to be a successful business returning to Rhode Island.
And we don't want that.
No.
We absolutely, under no
God
circumstances.
forbid anyone is successful in Rhode Island, add more taxes.
Question, though. Now, Narragansett moved out of Rhode Island in 1983.
Yes.
Now, did they just move from place to place, or was there a point when they were actually out of business?
They were defunct for quite
They were
some
defunct
time.
for a
yeah.
while,
The,
right?
the Helen Drug family sold off controlling interests, and they just dissolved the whole corporation. However, out in, I believe it was Colorado, I also believe it was the people that do the brewing for Coors, kept the recipe alive.
Okay.
Then Mark Hellendrung decided that he wanted to get the family business back, and that's what he did. So Mark,
So he bought back the recipe from Coors.
he brought back the recipe, brought back the name Narragansett Beer, and as he was coming back up, I hate to give her credit for it, but our governor helped him get into the Rochester, New York area, Rochester Brewing. They were producing Narragansett beer correctly to his satisfaction. That's how it started circulating. That's when they did the Drink Your Part, Well, I drank my part, your part. There's a small family down the street. I drank their part. I wanted them back really bad, just because I like it. I mean, a lot of people nix it. They poo-poo Narragansett beer. However, I am a diehard fan, except for the coffee stout. That one, sorry guys, I just can't get myself to like that one.
I'll say one thing about it. And I'm not criticizing because both products are made by the same company, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, there's a world, just in most beers, when you have whatever the corresponding light beer, it never tastes as good as the regular.
I like the light better than
In the Narragansett.
Yeah.
I do too. I mean, to me, there's like a world of difference, actually. I much prefer the light to the regular brew.
It's because it's getting close to swimsuit season that I gravitate towards the light. For those of you
but we're talking about taste. I'm talking just
No,
pure taste.
Pure taste. I enjoy the light better.
Yeah.
And then when you have the small run batches like the Dell's Shandy, the Dell's Cherry Shandy, the coffee stout, the double chocolate donut stout, and even the smaller run batches that they do with the what is it? I can't even think of it right now. We have some in the fridge right
The
there.
Lovecraft.
The
brews?
Lovecraft. Thank you.
Okay.
Geez, normally I have spot on, but unfortunately it's been a rough day.
No, we have Lovecraft in our refrigerator. Yes,
we do. We got part of them anyways, and we're holding it for hostage. But no, even the Lovecraft brews. Some of them I like more than others, but there is a very distinct flavor difference between every single thing they do. Now you get into like a Sam Adams. Sam Adams uses pretty much the same hops in every one, and to me, I don't like the flavor of a lot of the Sam Adams because of their hops.
Right, and they just altered the flavor slightly by
it's
adding to the same basic brew.
You get the you have a base like the Blizzard, the ice cream treat, whatever. They always have vanilla, and then they put add-ins into it. I think that's what Sam Adams does. We have our basic formula. Let's put a little bit of this flavor. Let's put a little bit of that flavor in it.
Right.
Until they came around with the nitros, I did not like Sam Adams at all. I refused to drink it. Now the Sam Adams Nitro, the ones that have the nitrogen widget in the can, bottle, whatever, those I am really partial towards because I think the nitrogen mellows out that hops profile to it. Again, I'm just going total beer nerd on you, and I'm going to back off on that a little.
No, that's fine. I'm the one that asked the question.
No.
Differentiating between the light and the straight up brew. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, and believe me, having my choice, I gravitate towards Narragansett. Not only is it very nice on the pocket, it's just a good beer to just hang around, drink. Comes in the pound cans. The pounders I've done horrible damage to. Like I said, I drank a small village worth of their part.
And before you're done, you will drink a large village worth.
Oh, I'm going to continue to keep drinking Narragansett. In fact, if they will allow me to, I will put a straw in one of the kegs. Or the kegging line, either way. But I will digress because I'm getting a little too excited on the beer. I'm actually salivating.
I'm worried. I'm starting to worry about the electronics at this table.
It's okay. We have the spit shield up where I'm not spitting on the microphone, so whoever uses this microphone next does not have to worry about the norovirus or whatever it is. Why don't we, Tony always talks about segues. You cannot make a better segue. We're going to take a break. We're going to go listen to the Magunks, which is a hard-drinking band to begin with, off their Highlights for Lowlife's album, Bad Decisions. You can't make this up. We'll be back in a minute. right, my night outers. DJ Psyco Eddie here, of course, with George Gorner and Tony Jones. If you want to be part of the show, definitely want to hit me up at MyNightOutRadio at Verizon.net. You can also submit music if you want to do some promotions, some advertising. Definitely, please send me an email. Also, you want to check out our website, MyNightOutRI.com. Facebook, we're at MyNightOut. Twitter, Instagram, DJ Psyco Eddie, or MyNightOutRI on either one of those two. I've had a lot of people hit me up on them. You definitely, please, send me messages. If you want to get out there, I am the guy. I will help you get your word out there. And if you're listening, thank you. If you're not listening, I'm not talking to you. Well, summer, believe it or not, is not that far away. Spring, despite having to shovel the walk this morning, spring has sprung. It's just a little cold and that white stuff fell down.
Well, basically, we noticed that the landscaper outside our building right now is shoveling snow and landscaping mulch at the same time.
Yes, he has the snow shovel to clean the way to put the mulch down. I would have waited a week. That's messed up. I'm sorry. But that's going to spawn me towards one of those things that I just absolutely love. Being a fat guy, fat guys love barbecue. Now, there are a few places I want to point out, places that are in my A list, and some of them are a little unconventional. I want to start off with Ladder 133.
Now, is this unconventional in what is being barbecued, or
No. Well, yes and no.
Okay.
They're a little bit out of the norm for what we as Americans consider barbecue.
Okay.
First off is Ladder 133. They're right on Douglas Avenue. They have really good food to begin with, but that building has a history of barbecue. Before it was Ladder 133, it was the old Sticky Fingers.
Okay.
They kept the bar. The bar still has bullets in it from the 1800s because that bar was brought in from somewhere out west. I don't remember the whole story because I really don't remember leaving that building all that much. When it was Sticky Fingers, I used to drink there a lot. So if you go to Ladder 133 and you look really hard at the bar, you'll see the bullet holes. But they have really good barbecue, really good wings, burgers. It's a nice place to just meet up, a nice casual dinner, lunch, what have you. I've gone there on the bike a few times. Another place right off of Hope Street in the east side of Providence is LJ's Barbecue. Now, this is a place I've taken my father. My father is more of a barbecue freak than I am, if you can believe that. And they have brisket, which is out of this world. They have burnt ends. Are you familiar with the burnt ends?
No, I'm not.
Okay. You know brisket has a point cut and a flat cut. Okay. Well, everyone likes the flat cut. Not too many people like the point cut for barbecue. So what they do is after they smoke the whole brisket, they take the point cut off, put it back in the smoker for another 6 to 10 hours. And they get it nice and crispy and that nice bark on the outside. Then they cut it up into small pieces, put a sauce on it, and people will kill each other trying to get to it. LJ's Barbecue. Plus, LJ's, there's part of their recipe. By the way, the pauses aren't me thinking. The pauses are me swallowing.
Right,
I have been salivating since this show started. But LJ's puts a lot of either brown sugar or molasses based in it. So when you get it, you have that little bit of a burnt sugar crunch to it, but it's got the smoky flavor. Yeah, it's touch yourself in naughty places good. Then, of course, we have the ubiquitous Wes's Rib House on Dyke Street in Oneyville.
Which gets the job done, but I don't think it's the best ribs ever.
It's not the best ribs ever, but they're open very late.
Right. And you'll be very intoxicated when you go there.
Now,
so at that point, they will be the best ribs ever.
Well, there's a warning that comes with that.
Well, you're in Oneyville, first of all.
First off, you're in Oneyville, so you're taking life in your own hands when you get there, so the food naturally will taste better.
Right.
But the only downside to Wes's I've ever seen, I'm going to point out, don't ever go for the ribwich. They have a rib sandwich.
That's how they get rid of the bones to the drunks.
No. Have you ever had the McRib?
No, but I understand the concept.
Well, the McRib from the Clown.
Right.
Yeah. Throw some fresh onions instead of the processed onions, and that's their rib sandwich.
Yeah, I don't see the point of a rib sandwich anywhere. I really don't.
If you're going to a barbecue place, you don't get a sandwich. You get meat.
Yeah, why? That's what I mean.
If you're going to wrap it in bread, you know what?
Why would that? Interesting question. Theoretical question is why would anybody think that's a good idea?
Some people want the experience, but they don't want to get their hands dirty.
Okay.
Barbecue in itself is a dirty proposition. You're going to get your hands into it. It's
Especially if it's in Oneyville.
well, no matter where you go, though, Oneyville especially. But
No, it is. It's very hard to eat any kind
it
of
is
barbecue.
you got to use your hands. You have to really dig into it, and it's going to be messy, and your juices dripping everywhere, and you're going to be a mess if you
Right.
do
Basically, this takes us back to the cave.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
This is going back to your Neanderthal roots.
Right. Exactly.
You know, your forehead will grow, your brow will increase threefold while you're eating it. Grunting will not be out of the question.
Girlfriends will stay attractive though while eating it with you, right? We don't want. Yeah.
Well, if your girlfriend is into barbecue, and yes, take them along, they will get more attractive while you're eating.
And if she
barbecue.
throws the bone down her throat and pulls it back out, she's a keeper.
Oh, absolutely.
If your girlfriend eats barbecue like a pelican, that's when you have to get nervous. But also, another place that I like to go to is up in, I believe it's just over the Pawtucket line into Massachusetts on Route 152. I got you laughing.
Pelican.
But Boneyard Barbecue, first time I ever went there was for wings because of the wing challenge from Rhode Island Food Fights. But the barbecue there is out of this world. It's a little hole in the wall, probably like 25, 30 tables, tops. They got a really good beer selection, so I'm already excited. And the barbecue is just really good. Now, the one that I'm going to throw you on,
Okay.
people are not used to it because this isn't an American concept. Korean barbecue.
Okay, this is where we get into the exotic animal form.
Well, it's not really exotic animal. It's just how they do the barbecue.
Okay.
There's a place in Johnston, Rhode Island called Sura, S-U-R-A, Sura Barbecue. It's all Korean barbecue. So you're going to have the spice profile and the flavors a little bit more on the Asian side, number one. Number two, you cook it. So when you order your meat, you get raw meat, and there is a grill in the middle of the table. So you are grilling the meat, and it's more of a social event than it is, let me jam as much cooked meat that I can down my throat.
Yeah, except that in my case, my philosophy of life is let me cook as little as possible.
True. If you're lazy, like...
Maybe they can put a microwave on your table.
Well, no, the funny part is, if you're lazy, like myself, like pretty much everyone in this room,
Yeah, the whole idea is of going to a restaurant is that somebody else does it.
well, if you just give them enough time and you just let it sit there and keep talking, they will see that you're not paying attention, and they will come over and cook it for you at your table.
Right,
So-
because they want to turn over the table.
Well, they want
Right.
to turn over the table, but being a fat guy, well, it's, oh, yeah, thanks for cooking this for me. By the way, I'll have more because it's an all-you-can-eat.
Ah,
So you can do some hellacious amounts of damage. And of course, they have all your Asian favorites, too, like the scallion pancakes. They have rice and things that you would expect from an Asian restaurant.
right.
They have 3 or 4 different kinds of kimchi that they serve to you on top of copious amounts of meat. So definitely, if you don't go to any of the other places I've mentioned tonight, just once, you got to try Sura, Korean barbecue in Johnston. In fact, our good friend Jay Wu from the House of Wu, the bartender, the tallest Asian person that I know, who has crippled me with more beverages than anyone I can even comment on. He was there today, and he was I'll show you on Facebook later. He was there today with his mom, and the scene that he took a picture of, he was doing some damage there as well. So, any other barbecue places that you could think of?
Not really. Actually, No, other than the old basics. I mean, yeah, I'm appreciating this education because LJ's though is if you're gonna tell me to go, okay, tonight you want barbecue, go to fill in the blank. It would be LJ's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either LJ's or Sora. One of those two.
Yeah,
If you want
assuming I don't want to cook anything. So LJ's.
If you want the Americanized barbecue, ideal place, best place to go right now would be LJ's Barbecue, east side of Providence.
Gotcha.
So, with that, we're going to take a break, just because I have to wipe this drool off my face right now. So we're going to leave here.
I hope this show's almost over because.
Oh, you got 15 more minutes of this, my friend. But most of that's going to be music. So we're going to leave here with the Frenzy of Tongs. Which, by the way, at their stage show, will throw Chinese food around on stage. So the name of the song is Doctor Who. We'll be back in a minute.
I will teach you the folly of your words. I will destroy you and demonstrate the power of the Daleks. Exterminate, annihilate, destroy. Exterminate, annihilate, destroy. Exterminate, annihilate, Last survivor of the time was fought across the galaxy. In his time he travels to all the times and all the worlds. Usually he's got a sidekick, most of them are pretty girls. Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who.
Really paying attention right now. That was The Rhythm Coffin out of California. Name of the song is My Baby Digs Me. Before that was The Frenzy of Tongues, Doctor Who. Now, coming up, well, there's a few things coming up. There's a lot of things coming up. It's called The Future. Look into it. However, two things I really have to point your attention towards. Number one, Motif Magazine has nominated myself, DJ Psycho Eddie, as Best Club DJ. What I need everyone who's listening right now to do is go to motifri.com/music2016 and vote for me. I am Section 32, Best Club DJ. However, the two other gentlemen in this room with me right now were also nominated. Tony for Best Male Vocal, and the band Tony Jones and the Cretan 3 has been nominated for Best Punk Act, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That's true. Now, I hear a rumor spreading around that there will be some kind of shindig thrown should you take home the gold in May.
Should I come in first place, and yes, I will. You've heard it here first. I will put on an event.
Victory party.
A victory party. Well, I don't know how much of a victory party, but there will be one hell of a crap show. I will be indignantly drunk.
Now, is that only if you come in first place? Because I believe they do a runner-up.
If I have an award that I can show people, there will be a party.
You should wear it around your neck like Flavor Flav.
That's it. I will bronze a copy of Motif Magazine, and I will wear that as my necklace. That's sarcasm. I'm not going to actually bronze it.
Oh, no, actually, no. If you're willing to feed us, I mean, I'm willing to steal an award for you and write over the name in crayon.
No, it has to be a legitimate win. You know, of course, the Tony Jones and the Cretan 3 awards have not been
They will, actually, that gives me an idea. They will be soon initiated, though.
That's it. The RI Free Radio Awards.
You know, to take it full circle, we were talking about Narragansett earlier, and actually, Tony Jones and the Cretan 3 won the first ever Clammy Award. It was kind of when we first met, and I think they disbanded the Clammy, but we did get the first one for our efforts for. It
was actually, if I remember correctly, we also did a commercial for them. We did a video commercial with Chuckles the Clown, where we all got a chance to beat the tar out of Deadly Dan,
which isn't saying much because he looks like he's already been beat.
But yeah, that commercial won the Clammy Award as well. So 2 out of 3 people here have won Clammy Awards. We did not party. We've won multiple other things, have not partied. There will be a party if I take any type of award from Motif Magazine.
I think I've just gotten one of those Beavis and Butthead light bulbs just going over my head. I'm hearing the word awards, and I'm looking at our logo, and I'm thinking that, Tony, it might be about time to initiate the Rhode Island Free Radio.org awards. Now, what we're going to award and why, we can work on that.
Well, up on the shelf over there, I have an award that was bestowed upon me from 990 WBOB for Best Promoter.
Okay, so we can award something for, promoters. Well, if we award Best Talk Show Hosts and Bands, we're going to just award ourselves. And then that defeats the purpose. Because the idea is the
top 2 or top 3 are in this room right now.
Right. So I'm thinking what we got to do is come up with a class of awards that we can deal with in a totally corrupt and biased fashion. In other words, whoever is going to throw the biggest party, should they win, and feed us.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a fat guy who's Italian who grew up with a grandmother who never stopped feeding him. Trust me, whenever I do anything, there will be food.
Right, but we don't want just you feeding us, we want a full slate of awards. I'm thinking maybe like approaching the Oscars in number.
And there will be a buffet,
and the likes
of which have never been seen before.
Yes, because we are willing to be politically influenced by each and every contestant.
Well, before this goes down a really ugly and corrupt road.
Best set of boobs.
Female frontage. It's going to be. This is politically correct. Female frontage.
Well, unfortunately, in this radio station, you can also have best male frontage as well, which I think I've got by just a hair. However, I was also bestowed another honor earlier this week. And as you know, I'm going to be DJing at Freak Fest 7.
Yes, we do know that.
Well, there will be a food truck at Freak Fest 7 called Daddy's Dugout. Now, first off, you have to understand Freak Fest 7 isn't just a couple of bands call it quits. This show starts at noon, going till 1, 2 in the morning.
Right.
This is going to be a full day marathon of heavy metal, hard rock, sideshow freaks. Of course, me DJing awesome music.
Let's repeat while we're at it. Repeat that date and.
The date on that would be April 30th at Fett Music Hall, starting promptly at 12 noon. I will be spinning. There will be 2 stages.
The room will be spinning.
That's later in the evening. However, Daddy's Dugout, the food truck, new owners, new ownership, new management, however you want to put that, they have bestowed upon me the honor of naming a burger after me. Now, on this burger, it's not just your average, single. This is a double burger, almost a full pound of meat on this thing. There are 2 different kinds of cheese, avocado, fried eggs, bacon, and a sriracha aioli. And they might change it up and add more to it as time goes on because they're still working on it. But they told me there is a DJ Psyco Eddie burger going to be on the menu for Freak Fest 7. And if it takes off well, they're going to keep it. So
what you're telling us is not only do we have to vote for you in Motif Magazine to get fed,
yeah,
but we also have to lobby for your Psyco Eddie burger.
Exactly. See, I'm working for that Best Promoter award. I'm going to steal that if I have to.
If you can initiate a new burger on a new food truck business at a music event, then I think you're in the running for it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So of course, if you don't already know, Soulfly is the headlining band, but there are a few other national acts that are coming through, like Lottie Kong, Abnormality, Battlecross, Suffocation, and there's like another 10 or 15 bands that are going to be playing, local and otherwise, like I said, on 2 stages. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out about Freak Fest 7, and I really didn't even notice it until it was pointed out to me, in the parking lot, you don't even have to go into the building to be entertained. There is a sideshow act called Kick Me in the Head. I can't make this up. Basically, guy puts up a huge soccer net, puts his head in a vise so he cannot move it, and he allows you to kick soccer balls at his face.
Damn.
You're not even in the building yet, and you already have carnage, freak shows. This is just going to be...
I think we found some entertainment for your upcoming bachelor party.
Yeah, I think we found the personification of the politician's treatment of the Rhode Island voter.
It's sponsored by Gina Raimondo.
So, with that being said, I mean, I can keep going on. There's a lot of Vulgar Expressions is going to be doing a zombie shootout, also out in the parking lot. You definitely want to check that out. It's Zonyville, so gunshots is definitely not going to be out of the ordinary there. So, let me step back a little. You definitely want to check out Freak Fest 7. Eat the Psyco Eddie burger. If you want to be part of the show, again, MyNightOut Radio at Verizon.net. Send me your music. Send me your advertisements. Send me money. I don't care. Send me anything. I will definitely talk about it on the air. Facebook /MyNightOut. MyNightOutRI.com is the website. Twitter and Instagram is both DJ Psyco Eddie and MyNightOutRI. Well, I think we've got to the end of another one. So we're going to leave here quickly with a band called Grand Evolution. The name of the song is Goodbye. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for listening.